many of us have parents who have come from a very different generation from the ones that we were raised in. And because of that, very often our parents have different views, different perspective on things. And very often this might conflict with how we see things in various matters, like for example, housing, raising children, and so on. And many times we find that it is difficult to navigate, it's difficult to talk to them, and so on. And there are many situations where people simply give up on their parents. So today we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about handling parents who we may judge to be difficult. Yeah. So what struck this particular episode is there was a post by a woman who, a lady lah, this girl or lady or what, she gave up on her mother, right? Because she felt that her mother was. So it went quite viral. Later we share a bit more about this post. You came across that post, right?
The mother was abusing her verbally, kan?
Okay. So
Verbal.
so there was apparently the mother was verbally abusive and in some definitions might also be toxic lah. Okay, so I think we need to
Kick her out of the house also, kan?
something like that. And so she just cut off ties lah with the mother, like, and so on lah. So you want to assess a few things. First of all, do people have that right to cut off ties with their parents? And is there a limit to what people can tolerate before they decide to, you know what, I'm gonna cut him off or cut her off, and so on lah. Yeah, and then for those of us whose situation is not so serious, but it's difficult lah to handle our parents, what can we do in that sense? So as usual, we will start by defining our terms.
Definition.
Our terms.
Okay.
Right. So,
Okay, parents means biological parent lah.
okay.
Okay.
Challenging.
Yeah.
Wait,
So we're not
but
talking
just-
about in-laws at all yet.
just
The one that gave birth to you.
just for the purpose of completeness. Adopted parents?
They do have rights.
Okay.
But it's not
Okay.
equated to blood.
Okay, but let's narrow it to biological parents lah.
That is narrowed down. Okay, so that otherwise it's a big discussion.
Okay. So sometimes, like for example, let's start with the more mellow things lah. Disagreements. Okay, in styles. Maybe parenting styles. So let's say a parent wants to feed your child with ice cream too often.
This one is the grandparenting. Is
No,
the
but okay.
grandparent pula, bukan.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's just that there is a disagreement lah. So let's say you disagree with your parents on certain things. Like for example, upbringing of children. Okay. So how do you advise or how do you like navigate this situation lah? Because your parents obviously know that we raised you up. You turned out okay until now when you go against me. So what can I do to as in so what's wrong with me feeding the kid ice cream?
Yeah.
You know? Or whatever they want to expose the
Or going to the
grandchildren
shop
to.
and buying whatever
So
you
how?
want.
So what is the best way to like advise our parents or to go them lah in that sense?
Okay, so first, of course, we go to the principle of our religion because the bar is all there lah, and the standard is everything there. So Islam, of course, we know it is high in Islam the rights of parents.
Okay.
It's right after worship to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala alone. Wabil walidaini ihsana. Right, so after worship Allah Subhanahu wa Taala alone, and then Allah commands goodness to parents. Okay, this is the one thing that it is. You say it is what is firm.
Okay.
Nobody can argue, right, that it is right to be bad towards your parents or to be rude towards your parents or disrespectful or abandon them altogether or cut them out. So all of these things, right, cannot be considered, right, in the religious framework lah. You must understand that. It's out of the question, right? So rudeness out of the question.
Okay. Regardless
Regardless. In fact, rudeness towards any human being lah, actually. Not just your parents even more, but you're not supposed to be rude to anybody.
Correct.
So regardless if the parent is abusive, like kicking the child out. So regardless of that.
No. Under no circumstance should you be rude to your parents. Under no circumstance.
Yeah, should be rude to anybody, in fact. But your parents even more, under no circumstance. Basically, goodness is shown because Allah has commanded goodness, not because someone deserves or has earned the goodness from you. It's a principle. You must understand. We are good to others because Allah has commanded it. You know, and you're good to your parents because Allah has commanded it. Allah didn't say that be good to your parents if they are good to you. There's no principle in Islam that says that. Be good to your parents because they are your parents. Allah has shit, and Allah has commanded that. Full stop.
Okay.
That's the first thing. Like now, so asas is all our foundation, basic groundwork lah. You know, the framework lah. So no raising your voice, right? No being rude, right? Of course, no abusing, no abandonment. It's all more extreme situations lah. Understood? In Islam, all of things are clearly haram.
Okay.
And there's no argument in this matter whatsoever amongst the scholars, amongst anybody, you know, who have who in the right mind lah actually.
No debate whatsoever.
At all.
Even if you're, as in,
Quran says
regardless of what
cannot say
your parents
oof.
does.
Where else you want to
Tak
go?
Correct.
Takut lah oof. Even cheese. Yeah.
If oof is not allowed, literally nothing is allowed of bad behavior. Disagreement is disagreement. Put it up, define it lah. Okay, so now you disagree with your parents. They said, what you know about, especially about education, about the way you live your life.
Let's say cannot kahwin or cannot ride bike.
Maybe you're unmarried, you know, you have some lifestyle that you have, whatsoever. Okay. And we're not talking about matters that is clearly there is a religious boundary to it. So it's not a matter like haram, you want to go, you know, do haram and they're against it, or they're going to make you do haram. Not talking about that as well.
It's not macam
It's areas whereby people they have their opinions.
Okay.
And all the opinions are valid opinions.
Okay, wait. I think there's two different things.
Okay.
First of all, is don't be rude to parents.
Yes.
That's not the same thing as don't disagree with your
No.
parents.
Not the
It's different. So you can disagree without being rude.
Yes.
So, okay.
Yes. And the disagreement shouldn't be in matters whereby there is a clear black and white in the religion.
So you can disagree respectfully lah.
Yes.
And not
on matters of opinion.
not matters on haram and halal lah. That is clear cut. Okay.
So example lah, the ice cream example. Okay, so so your parents maybe like to buy junk food. Maybe lah. And you're like, you know, I want healthy food for my children. My parents keep buying junk food. Alright. So as our teachers will always say, converse. Like converse and discuss with your parents calmly and nicely. Right? Say that kid, you know, Abba, Ma, in my house, like, we really want to try have our kids grow up on good nutrition lah. You know, nowadays it's really bad lah. They got oma, whatever lah, you say to them lah. In that way, try to come to a compromise. And they say, no lah, a bit is not harmful. A bit only.
Aku dulu kasih kau ice cream
Every
banyak-banyak.
single day.
Kau tenang okay je.
Yeah, I say what? No, you know the rate of obesity and whatever. Go in
But
that way.
it's not easy lah sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy sometimes, but it's the bottom line is of course you and your spouse, right? You control your life. In fact, not the spouse, but you yourself. You control your life. And you do have the right on how you lead your life. The rights of your parents is basically you serving them. But if let's say, for example, I don't want to work. I've gone to university and as an individual, unmarried individual, I think to myself, I don't want to go to a 9-to-5 job. I want to maybe make videos. You know, for example, my father and mother says, no nonsense, go and get a 9-to-5 job, right? Don't do this kind of nonsense. But it's your life. You don't want to get a 9-to-5 job. You want to do videos, right? And you handle your finances. You're not asking them for any money whatsoever. You're doing your finances. You are fine. You think you're well off. You're okay. You're well to nothing. But your parents just say like, you know what? You should get a 9-to-5.
So that's not part of obeying parents.
No.
No, wait. So that is the third dimension. So the first time we talk about is about how you respond to your parents, like rudeness. That one is a no lah. For sure, it cannot be rude. Then if you disagree, it's fine to disagree, but do it respectfully. But this is the third one, which is disobeying.
Is this so does this fall under disobeying?
Yeah, because disagreeing doesn't amount to disobeying until the action is done. You see, so we can disagree about going to school. Like, I think I can make a career as a YouTuber. My father doesn't live in this generation. He doesn't know that I can make this money. Okay? Okay, maybe that's not a good example lah. Okay, so they disagree about something, but the guy still goes to do it.
Okay. Like marrying someone lah maybe.
Okay lah, the simple one is riding a motorbike lah.
Riding a motorbike, riding a motorbike.
Mak tak restu. Okay, tapi mak tak faham. Sekarang kereta mahal kat Singapore. Okay. Mak punya generation dulu kereta murah. Driving license 2-3 kali dah boleh pass. Kita susah payah nak kena bayar driving license. Okay, so this is the argument I'm going to make. So, my mother doesn't understand. So, I'm going to have to disobey her and buy a motorbike and ride in secret because I don't want to upset her. So,
is that disobeying?
So this is where disagreement amounts to disobeying. So how is that okay or not?
Okay, for me, there's no okay.
It's not okay.
For me, I did not dare get my bike license until I got Abba's permission.
Okay.
I didn't dare. I got a bike license by the way, but I didn't dare get until Abba give me the green light. I am terrified on dying on the road.
Okay, wait, that's another. Maybe the motorbike wasn't a good example also lah. Okay.
Ridha Allah fi ridha al-walidain. Ridha
Yeah.
Allah is dekat ridha.
No, but there are
ibu
things.
bapa.
But there are things that you have to disobey on if your parents are not particularly well informed about such things.
If you can obey, you obey lah.
Yeah, if you can obey, obey.
Yeah.
So like for example, riding a bike or that.
Okay,
Put that one aside lah.
Okay, let's think of something that is maybe a bit unreasonable.
Like
Okay.
marriage.
No, marriage also you can say restu is important and all that, right? Okay, wait. Buying a HDB.
Okay.
Let's say unreasonable. Okay, to me it's a bit extreme to say that the father doesn't want you to live with interest, so you cannot buy a house. You can sewa. And then you're saying, okay, sewa is 2,000 a month, and I only earn 5,000 a month.
Yeah.
So financially, it's going to be hard for me, right? So my father doesn't understand that now houses are expensive. So I still have no choice. I have to buy a house.
Take a loan lah.
So disobey. So there's no consequence of dying on the road or whatever lah.
Okay.
So would that be disobeying and wrong?
So in that case, because it's your financial situation, right?
Okay.
So you and there are the fatwas about it now. So the hukum follows the fatwas, right? So your house is darurat. You have no choice. You have to take a loan to get the house, right? And say to your father, actually, if you get the house, you're still paying less than renting out in that amount. And the rental is a bit more, more expensive lah,
yeah,
than the monthly
definitely.
towards the bank. And then more
definitely.
expensive because there are people who buy and rent must make money, right?
Yes,
Obviously, right? So actually, it's cheaper. It's cheaper to actually get a loan and then pay off and pay off quickly lah. Pay off quickly lah. That one you have the right because it's your financial situation. As long as you don't infringe on your father's rights, that you're supposed to support your parents and give them of income. I mean, give them support lah. So your parents have the rights to support from you, your companionship, right, and also your person. It means like keep yourself safe, that kind of thing. They do have a right to keep yourself safe on that. Of course, you can extend. Some people, mashallah lah, they really go to the very extent in not doing anything their parents don't allow. But at the same time, that is our teachers will say there is a balance because there are certain matters that maybe they might not understand in your situation, like for example buying a house lah. So you say my parents maybe they really don't get it lah. That is just financially really very tough.
So that means disobedience is permitted if you can judge that my parents don't have a full view of the situation and their advice is on the basis of this incomplete knowledge of the current situation.
Knowledge. I won't call it disobedience. But basically, I mean, try and talk to them, explain to them, and reason with them, and see that really, and inshallah, if there is good reasoning behind it.
Okay, I think another reason is like another example. Another example is kalau let's say you want to pursue being a doctor, tapi let's say the father wants the child to be an ustaz, for example. So can you put that ridha Allah fi ridha al-walidain in here? Macam okay, kau kalau pergi doktor tak berkat hidup, kalau pursue that line tak berkat hidup kau pun.
Because these are real situations.
Yeah, there are real
These are real situations.
They're forcing you on a particular path that they
But
want.
budak tu tak suka. Macam mana?
So again, you have to sit down
okay
with
to disobey.
Yeah, it's not in a sense. You won't say it's disobedience because in a sense your parents they don't have a right to tell you what to do with your life. This must understand where obedience sits. Right, so the obedience towards parents. What is the obedience towards parents? You support them. And so financially, as you grow older, you support them, you pay for them as you grow older,
Okay.
and you keep their company. So if your parents call you and say that I want, like for example, if somebody wants to migrate overseas,
Okay.
and the parents have no rida, they have that right. They say, I have no rida with you going overseas. I want you next to me.
So that's
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because
I see,
your
I see.
person, your physical being. That's why for me, before I travel all that, we must talk to our parents. So if our parents say, okay, you want to go, you go. For Allah subhanallah, you can go. But the moment our parents, especially my husband, and his parents say, no, I want you physically next to me. Wajib. Because the company of the child is the parents' rights. So to be supported, right? The company of your company, right? And to be kind towards them. It's all the rights of the parents. What you do with your life is actually your right. So they don't actually have parents, and parents must also understand this, like, especially if your child is married and mashallah, even if they're single adults, you must understand that they have a right to their life.
Okay, when you say that, dia ada a certain age tak? Like when we have rights over the child. Macam like for example, we have children, right? Like 15 years old, is it like we don't have a right over them? Or is it after 21? So what's the, or is it memang kita
Forever, right?
parents as parents?
It's like when like for example, let's say this will be a bit more complicated. So for example, your child at 15 say, I don't do the O levels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Possible. Right? Does a child have that right to say that I don't do the O level? You said, I am your mother, I'm telling you, or I'm your father, I'm telling you, you must do O levels and you must obey me. I do your O levels.
So
Okay. Okay. So of course O levels is, of course the child doesn't understand a lot of things lah.
Yeah.
So O levels, right? So in our zaman, I would say the child is not mature enough to make their own decisions. Oh, I want to drop out because my friends all drop out. That kind of thing, or whatever lah. I want to do
Be
something
content
else.
creator,
I want to
TikTok.
no, that one all, of course, under the roof of the parents, right? Under the care of the parents. I think in our zaman, the maturity of our children. When lah?
I mean, kalau
the
you
maturity
tengok
comes in.
sahabat, like 15-year-old, they are married, they have
businesses.
Yeah, they have businesses. They go to war. They have army.
So
macam
all of this
our
because
zaman-
of their you say they are safi. That means they are not wise people. They are on the foolish side. They must obey their parents. Who
Okay.
you see, the parents know better. The parents know better. Now we're talking about adults.
Yeah.
So
adults
is
whereby-
after
No lah, I mean when you're
21. After 21
21 lah, let's say.
like what Kasim said lah, like your parents want you to be an engineer. Parents wants you to go
Basically,
pursue
at an age where we are deciding the path of your life lah. Getting married, getting a job, pursuing further education.
so must you obey your parents in you choosing the path for your life without in any way compromising on their rights over you, like in support and in companionship. Because this is two things: there's support and companionship. Of course, kindness, three things, right? So of course, in that situation, the path of your life is your choice. So they actually do not have a say, right, in commanding you, right, what to do, right? But they can advise you at 21. They say that the economy is bad right now. I advise you to take this path. If you want to take this path, it's better for you. Parents can do that. And Sayyidina Ali has a statement lah. There is a tribute to Sayyidina Ali, whereby the first 7 years is the years of play. The next 7 years is the years whereby you are the king and they are the minister. So you give them some leeway, but you still put boundaries over them. But the next 7 years after 21, and also the first 0 to 7 is play. 7 to 14 is you discipline them. You are the king over them. You discipline them. Then 14 to 21 is you are like ministers. But still you're the king. No, they are minister. You're still the king. They are like a governor over their own life. But you're still the king. After 21, you have your own countries. But you are an advisor, can advise them about running their country. In a sense lah. This is a statement attributed to Sayyidina Ali. Right. So past 21, actually you have your own right to choose for your own life what you want to do without infringing on your parents' rights of companionship, support, and kindness. Goodness.
Okay.
No, but then okay. So then that brings the next question, which is, what if our parents don't abide by this ruling where they can only advise.
Yeah, and then they command and they get upset.
And then like
And then they will use Ridallah,
so
Ridallah.
if they have this belief that no matter what you must listen to me lah. Like some parents are quite difficult in that sense lah. They might not be so understanding. So in that sense, how do you actually so-called educate? It's quite difficult lah to say educate your parents.
I mean, as a child, it's a bit hard lah. Kan?
Yeah, so in the sense, so if they are controlling like you say, they're trying to be controlling and say that no, you must obey me in how you live your life. Then again, gently, I say that ma or abba, okay, umi, whatever lah. You say that you know, I have looked at all the options. Just keep your firm stand. I've looked at all the options and I really considered pros and cons or what. And I think that really I want to pursue this way. And many people have been successful. Don't worry about me, inshallah. It will all be okay. I will istikhara. I mean, you can open up the conversation to them. I'm sure if you are calm and composed with your parents, don't lose your cool. Just say that I don't want, not that I'm trying to disobey you, right? But you know, I'm seeing this to be better for me, and I hope you understand. I hope to get your dua and your rida because it really matters to me, right? So and it says, but you can pursue still, but the whole time tread gently. Don't like, I don't care what you say, I'm going to do what I want to do. No, put that way lah. Don't rude. Just say, I consider what you said. Okay, and I really you know, with all the factors, I spoke to a few people, you know, and I really hope that you let me take this path, or you reda with me, dua for me. I really need your dua. I mean, give them respect lah, right? But I really want to take this path, and I want your reda and your dua, right? So please, you know, I will want to take this path. And keep saying that, and you can go on the path straight, but don't outrightly say that, you know, I don't care what you say.
So don't say things like you have no right.
Don't say such statements. They have no benefit lah.
Ustazah Farhana hari tu cakap.
Don't use my name. But you need to. This thing. It goes back to being kind, being gentle. You can take your path. Right, so if you have your own ideas on education for your children, you have your own ideas on nutrition for your children, whatsoever, you can take a path and be civil, right? Be civil, right? And be decent if your children, if your parents.
Yeah, I think that is the important part because I think many of us we lose our cool when we talk. So watch our tone. And like macam kalau kita once we lose our cool, that's it lah. Macam how
you end up being rude lah.
Yeah, how does parents we want to even listen if you are rude kan? So yeah lah.
Yeah, and you carry on your way. Just keep saying it over and over again lah. I really want your dua. I really hope you can. And most parents, inshallah lah, inshallah, their hearts will soften. Their heart was, and you dua. You know, there is that one thing I learned from Allah yarhamhu Ustazah Fauzi years ago, right? That if you want to make someone's heart soften, that you recite the first 10 ayat of Surah Taha.
Okay.
Surah Taha. Because these were the ayats that softened the heart of Sayyidina Umar. So years ago, I learned it from Ustazah Fauzi in one of his talks lah. And I've been practicing it whenever to anybody who is hardened on something.
Okay.
I tell you, mujarrab, it works.
Okay, I nak try on you.
So you try and talk somebody, you know, and they just won't budge. I tell you, last of the night, you pray 2 rakats, take the Quran, read Surah Taha, 10 verses, the first 10. The first 10. If you can do the entire surah, it's even better lah. Right, but first 10. And you dua to Allah, you will see their hearts soften. That's the best way. They don't have to keep going at loggerheads with your parents.
Got some people to meet tonight. I can read Surah Taha and meet them tonight.
Yeah, the hearts will soften. Okay, it's your
kena ada conviction jugalah. I baca Surah Taha tak soften pun kan. So kena ada conviction jugalah.
Yeah, conviction. Like for me personally, and I know my father watches your podcast lah. So I can talk about lah. For me personally, when I wanted to shift my path to religion, I mean my own father, you know, was wondering lah, because I mean at least he was wondering lah, why you finish your engineering and US all that and you want to shift towards religion. Why would you want to do that? Right? I didn't want to be a loggerheads with my father and argue whatsoever. I read Surah Taha constantly.
Now you know Abah.
Abah knows what I was doing. No, but then Abah's heart softened. Softened very, very. MashaAllah, Abba's heart softened, a lot towards it. And he began to understand, why I want to take this path, of religion.
Yeah, at first he was not. He wasn't sure.
At first he was not. He was unsure of what I was doing in my life. I mean, as a father, of course, he's worried, he's concerned.
Yeah.
You've gotten your degree, you finish your NUS, and then you want to go to Syria, you want to go to Yemen, you want to go to. What are you doing? That kind of thing lah. So of course, my father, MashaAllah. I mean, my parents. I know our parents. We are lucky for our parents lah. They treat us like adults. They treat us like adults.
They put the ball in your court lah.
Yeah, and they respect our decisions.
InshaAllah.
But yeah lah, I mean,
Not everybody gets that.
not everyone gets that.
Gets that.
And we need to know how to navigate lah. I think, but that's one good solution about
Doa.
maybe not solution lah, good approach lah. The doa, the
Ya
surat
Latif
Taha.
also. Ya Latif, Ya Latif, Ya Latif.
And Afif's favourite, Ya Aziz, Ya Jabbar, Ya
Ya Aziz, Ya
Mutakabbir.
Jabbar, Ya Mutakabbir.
Oh, that one he reads when he's playing football lah. So that he can
Dapat
score.
goal.
Ya Allah, that zikir is to soften hearts. But he did it on his football.
Okay.
So that you know why I can score? Because I read Ya Aziz, Ya Jabbar, Ya Mutakabbir. Maybe yeah.
Oh, that one works. So if you talk, let's say for women life, your menses or what, you cannot read Surah Taha, right? Ya Aziz, Ya Jabbar, Ya Mutakabbir.
InshaAllah.
Over and over again. Before you talk to the person about what you want to talk to the person about.
So these are the three names of Allah. What are the meanings?
Ya Aziz, right, the one of honor and strength, right? Ya Jabbar, the compeller. Allah compels us into things. Ya Mutakabbir, right, the one who, the great lah, the greatest, the great, Allah the great. Right, so these these names of Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, it actually softens hearts that are hardened. So when you want to da'wah to someone, you want to say something to your husband that you want to do, and he is hardened about it. You want your to talk to your parents, Ya Aziz, Ya Jabbar, Ya Mutakabbir. And of course, because you use Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala's names, right, Allah will only allow for what is good. Fihi salih, and that is what has goodness in it.
I think there's another. I feel there's something that I learned from you. Another thing that I learned from him is he likes to plant the seeds. Kalau macam orang tu not very objective of it kan, objective. Like
Very adamant.
Very very object the thing that you want. He likes to plant the seeds first.
Oh, if somebody objects to what you want to do.
Yes.
You cannot say in passing first lah.
Yeah.
Test the waters. You test the waters.
Yes. And after that lagi plan lagi satu sikit. So macam okay lah. Can
That one is more of the usaha lah, the effort to try to change the mind of the parent.
So like macam how to handle difficult parent kan. If you really want something, like for example, you really want to marry this guy. Yang ada 3 anak.
Ni true story
Okay.
True story.
So you plant the seeds first. Now, what do you think about gini macam tu lah, something like that. And then
And then let it sink in for a while. Okay.
Then after that, another conversation.
So it's a lot of patience lah.
Yeah.
And a lot of tact, a lot of gentleness. So really, when you speak about challenging parents and you have different point of views, everything, it's not a straight on or head on, like opposition. That's not going to work. It doesn't work anybody anyway. Like, even with your own children as well. You can't just go straight on, head on and say, you know what, but it's really discussion, conversation, and dua and gentleness and dropping, your hints here and there, like the testing the waters. Working, playing your cards well lah.
Can I be smart about it lah?
No, but
to
that one is
handle
more.
parents.
That is more of the technique of negotiation lah.
Yeah lah.
Yeah.
Because what's happening lah.
Yalah.
Because you're disagreeing.
You are disagreeing with your parents about something.
So you're trying to negotiate.
You negotiate in the sense that you try to assess what they are prepared to accept. And you let that sink in for a while. And then you try to see what more they can accept gradually. And there's a lot of patience, a lot of talking, a lot of reasoning.
Yeah.
And inshallah, if it's for good cause, then they will
Allah
agree
will
eventually.
ease for you lah, and your parents, and you being kind and gentle to your parents will soften their hearts. Especially the day Hababa Fatima was here. She was saying, like when you converse, right, and you say good words, like say, okay, I know, Ama, Abba, that
I
you
know
really
you love
I know you really want me to do this, and I know your intentions are very good, whatever, but I just don't feel it like myself to do it. I can't think, you respect, give them the respect. Give them the respect, and I really, really, really hope. I can't think that it's kind of conversation. Inshallah, your parents'
So
hearts
there's
will soften.
praise in the
Praise
objection.
in the objection. You praise them. I know you're worried for me and everything, but I can't think it can be done. You need to know how to be sincere in your conversation with your parents. But then again, if you want to go backwards a bit, not everybody are able to converse with their parents. That also is. That's why that day when I was translating for Ustazah Fatima, and she spoke about parenting, and how important it is for parents to converse with their children, to open doors of conversation, so that later on they can open doors of conversation. Like for me, I got so emotional when I was translating because like she was describing my upbringing. My parents were like that. They conversed. Ma always conversed.
Yeah, correct.
She never forced. Even the hijab was not forced on me. Ma never forced. Ma conversed. So when we grew up, and there was a difference of opinion between us and our parents, we conversed. But of course, then again, now I have to go into situations whereby people do not have that with their parents. Then it makes it hard . It makes it hard.
That's why we have this topic how to handle challenging parents.
But you got to
from
open up the conversation . I don't see another way.
So if you're not a person who habitually speaks to your parents growing up and so on, and you grow a bit distant, then how do you reinitiate the conversation or the habit of conversation with them?
You got to try . You got to try.
So-
you need to really put in the effort and, go to their house, do what they like.
So the onus is
know.
on the child to go there and try to reinitiate.
Yes. There was a question that day also. She said that what if my parents did not bring me up in this way? Parents didn't bring me up in this way. So how? Then she said that then you need to now put in the effort and reach out to your parents and form the bonds with your parents and the mutual understanding. You need to sit down with them, go out with them, bring them out for lunch. Or you need to put in effort . Even though if it's awkward at first, you make your intentions, InshaAllah, Allah will open up doors with your parents.
InsyaAllah.
InsyaAllah. Okay, actually there's the other thing that I think we want to go into a bit more. So far we've been talking about when we disagree with our parents, we want to do something and we still want their blessings. But, so we move a bit further. Let's say the parents are doing things that are questionable. Okay. Maybe running a not so halal business, or maybe even something like habitually gossiping. And you want to tegur your parents. You love your parents so much. You know what they're doing is wrong. And you want to tegur them. So
it's a topic on.
another difficult parents
Wait,
is
but how is it fall under challenging parents?
challenging. It's challenging because you are, as I'm very disturbed by how you are.
Oh, okay.
Or habitually always leave the TV on. The house also
yeah,
the
correct,
TV is
correct.
on round the clock.
So I'm very disturbed that let's say for example my father or my uncle or what, or not uncle a parent one of the parents spends the whole day watching TV. And then you're like, wow, if only he could spend some time reading the Quran. So how to advise?
This one, when you ask our teachers, right, about this kind of questions, right, your parents are really, a person's parents really like not on the religion, or they're doing certain things that are doubtful or whatsoever. They say the best way for a child is that you be the best child in service to your parents.
Okay.
Without saying anything about these matters.
So don't say at all.
Wait. For now, directly no. Right, but basically you need to build. If you don't have a bond with your parents, you cannot say anything. You need to build the bonds with your parents
You
first.
need to have the connection first.
Yes, connection. You need to have connection. If you don't have a beautiful, a strong connection with your parents, you can't say a word about these things. They will just shut you off, and there will not be any benefit. So of course, doa, tahajjud, everything you need to do it first. If you really want to affect your parents, then you need to really bond with your parents first by service to your parents first. Then later on, when you have a friendship because you're adults. So as adults, we can have friendships, and we should have friendships with our parents, right? Then you can say, do you want to follow me, go to this class, or follow me, go here, go there, that kind of thing lah.
So gradually lah.
Gradually. And again, like really really calculate your steps lah. I don't just, so you must know if your father's approachable, if your mother's approachable, can you say anything? And sometimes people, as they move on the path to the religion, they will by themselves stop doing all these things. So you can go the other way lah. Like you can say that there's this class you want to go, or on the Zoom, or actually got this nice series. You can do like a replacement for them. Omar series, or there's actually I like the Final Legacy.
Apa tu?
That's
The
another
Final
one.
Legacy is another series that's old series, some stories.
Okay.
So you can say that this is another one, and the kind of thing lah. Like my in-laws, they will watch. Now they know how to use the smart TV and watch Habib Ali from Malaysia. Habib Ali bin Hamid. So they'll play his ceramah, his syarahan, and everything. They learn how to. You teach them how to use the TV in the other ways lah.
So just never advise but just do.
Just do. And just say, Abba, you can do it like that. And then you can just search, this one. You can do from your phone actually. You just screen share. You should have how to do it.
Okay, maybe not never advise. Advise if you judge that they can be receptive.
If they can be receptive. Because if you directly say, you're watching all these movies, wasting your time, you're already in your 60s.
No, but
that kind of
kalau-
words not acceptable.
Kalau tak ada connection, memang susah nak receptive.
yes.
Susah nak receptive.
Susah nak receptive.
First thing first is connection.
Yeah.
You have no connection with your parents, you cannot go around advising them.
Yalah.
If anybody, in fact, even your own children. Anyone.
Because sometimes it's quite sad lah. Like, if you want to, I talk to some of some people I know lah about how they navigate their experiences with their parents. It's really not easy.
Yeah.
Especially when you see clearly you learn these things. Also because recently we are exposed to a lot more Islam, right? We're exposed to a lot more sources of knowledge from all over the world, Islamic knowledge from UK and all that. And this is all in English lah.
But then the boomer generation didn't get it
So
because of the language barrier.
Those who were born in 50s, 60s, 70s, they don't quite, they're not attuned with such things.
Yeah.
So in a way, maybe this generation, knowledge is so freely accessible now. And we learn certain things and then we see that our parents are doing things that are quite wrong. And we don't want them to say things like, you become so smart already when you learn all these things. Suddenly you become so religious.
Suddenly so smart you are.
Ustazah.
So it's like, the advice becomes a bit difficult. But then like what you said just through our own actions, get them to see
Rasulullah SAW kan, he datang dengan benda baru also. And then all the punya ancestors is all
his family,
Abu
his
Talib,
family.
Abu Lahab,
Older.
Abu Jahal, all the elder. So he, as in, how he dakwah is just being
just
how he
doing what is good. Doing what is good,
Yeah.
saying what is good. And not with regards to the older generation, to directly reprimand them is hard lah. Build a rapport lah. Build a bond with them. That must lah. You must build a bond.
find a substitute find a replacement for
find a replacement.
activities. Because they probably assume that a lot of what they're doing is not wrong.
That's
because
true.
it's normalized.
That's true. Yeah, it's normalized.
It's normalized. Like,
Yeah.
even things like gossiping. There's some men or sit at the coffee shop. They just spend the whole day talking about gossiping about their children. Anak aku gini-gini, and then the daughter-in-law, the son-in-law, and then it's gossiping, and then the stories of your own household is being shared with
Random
people, random strangers, and then
And
you
they
want to
pass
put a
on.
stop to this,
Yeah.
and then it's very difficult. So
Yeah.
as a substitute, have another alternative to
Play sports lah.
play sports, bring them away from the coffee shop, so that they don't hear all these stories and all
Play
that lah.
sport.
You go out with them lah. You be their friends.
You go out with them instead.
Yeah.
But
it's-
it's difficult to advise directly.
Yeah,
So
and
when was
with
your
parents, it's really a way of gentleness lah. It's really have to take the path of gentleness in regards to parents.
Ada tak story? Ini last question I think.
No, there's more.
Oh, ada more.
I got more to
Tak,
ask.
ada tak stories in the past or like in the hadith that macam, stories of like the parent is really, really challenging and difficult, and then it just to give us motivation lah on
Nabi Ibrahim lah.
serving the Sila
I
jawab.
think
Nabi Ibrahim alaihissalam.
among the Sahaba also Sayyidina Mus'ab bin Umair, right? Sayyidina Sa'ad bin Abi Waqqas, right? So I mean, a few of the companions, Nabi Ibrahim is also
Nabi
there,
Ibrahim.
right? Right up there, right? So a lot of them, they had to deal with very, very, very challenging, challenging parents. Sayyidina Mus'ab bin Umair, his mother freaked out when she found out he was Muslim. She stripped him of all of his wealth, locked him in a dungeon lagi, the mother. Right, but Sayyidina Mus'ab bin Umair, they were never rude towards their parents who are kafir. This is not even Muslim, they're kafir. Right, they were never rude towards their parents. But eventually he had to leave. He escaped from his mother and he went away. Right, because she was abusive, right, towards him. In this case, yes, he is made to leave the situation. Right, so with regards to the companions, the same thing, like you're firm what is right, but you are gentle towards your parents, how you speak to them, with a lot of love and care and respect for your parents.
So in that sense,
Not easy,
Nabi Ibrahim also, the entire time he spoke to his Azar. The one there's a khilaf whether is the father or the uncle. Right? For me, I take the position that is the uncle lah.
oh, is it?
Because there is a statement about the ancestry of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. None of them bowed to idols.
Okay.
So when they say his father Azar, that is a way of saying uncle. So this is my mother, like, and I say my auntie's name. So because you call your aunties your mother.
Okay.
But if it's just your father, say father. If it comes with a name, it says uncle. There are very strong opinions that it wasn't a father, was an uncle. But the one who brought him up. This Azar was someone who brought up Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam. Nabi Ibrahim was actually orphaned. That's one of the opinions lah. Strong opinion actually. So but anyway, he was respectful. He was respectful because because Azar brought him up. So the entire discussion in the Quran that shows how Nabi Ibrahim addressed Azar, it was very respectful. Even after the Azar said, "If you don't stop, I'm going to stone you." Then he said, "Okay, I will take my leave. I will seek forgiveness for you. I will take my leave." Gentle Nabi Ibrahim.
Imagine doing that. Because usually in the heat of the moment, you would want to
Lash out.
lash out. Kan? Yalah,
Nabi Ibrahim
it's not easy,
gentle. Da'wah but gentle towards his...
So that's okay. So we're moving into the stage where the parents are doing something wrong, but they're not aware that what they're doing is wrong. Like Nabi Ibrahim's father lah. He's what's wrong? I'm just selling idols, right? And even people today lah. Like what's wrong? I'm just we've always been doing this. Like, this is normal. But what about situations where the parents are wrong and they know they are wrong because they know they are abusive, or they know that they, like for example, some girls growing up, they see their father cheating on their mother.
An extreme situation.
And they find it very difficult. But
it happens. It happens.
So we need to cover. We want to cover every aspect from simple disagreements to this type of drastic situations. So it's like, wow, I really cannot respect my father anymore after what I saw when I was 14. I can and and they use this as a justification to just cut ties
and be rude to them.
And my toxic father.
I mean he cheated, he's immoral, abusive, whatever. In this situation, right, of course your birrul walidain or your goodness towards your father, he is still your father, right? Your blood, your flesh and blood, you are his flesh and blood. Right? So in this situation, really, your goodness towards your father is your prayers and your du'as and your charity on his behalf that he changes his ways. Right? Okay. So it's not for you to say, I respect or don't respect. Right? Because what is asked of you is ihsan, is goodness. That's asked of you. And what is your ihsan towards a father who is an outright sinner? I say outright sinner, this father. Right? Is dua lah. Right? Dua for him continuously every single day. Dua that Allah puts in his heart, tawbah. Full stop. But there is no, you don't say, oh, I don't respect him. There's no benefit.
So there's no wisdom in, there's no permissibility in cutting ties at all lah.
At all. No permissibility in cutting ties at all. If a parent is abusive, if you go to another extreme, like let's say the father is abusive physically or sexually or whatever abusive, or the mother verbal abusive, you can protect yourself. And you must, actually you must, not can, you must. You must protect yourself from situations of abuse. But no cutting off ties. Right? So in a sense, don't put yourself alone, right, with them if you know the abuse happens. So there has to be protection on the self is wajib. You must protect yourself.
So in other words, it's not only a right to protect yourself, you have a duty to protect yourself.
Duty to protect yourself, right? But then do you say, oh, I will stop, supporting him, or I will not look at his face, or I will not salam him. No. You can do to the level, right, to show respect, right, and to care. Right? You cannot cut off ties, but you must protect lah.
Okay.
Where the harm is, you need to stop the harm.
Yeah, but then that will leave the door open to justifications. You say, I'm cutting ties to protect myself.
You don't have to cut ties to protect yourself. You
Yeah,
can,
but they say that as long as I remain in contact with him, I get traumatized, I have a trauma response, I
cannot imagine, because I just recently heard this podcast. This girl, she was raped by her father.
Okay.
And she got pregnant. And then when she got pregnant, then she went to her mother to tell about it. And then the plan was to abort the child lah. But when she checked, it's already 6 months. So she tak sampai hati nak buang lah. So she gave birth to the baby. And macam, I don't know, and gave the baby away because she doesn't want to traumatize herself lah. Every time she sees the baby, it reminded her of that, right?
So she cut ties with the father.
So she cut ties with the child. They give the child away, and then the father was obviously in jail. But then macam I feel like I mean, she said she forgives her father, cuma she just cannot see his face. So macam imagine.
So if he comes out of jail, she's not gonna.
I mean.
So in that situation, right?
Imagine.
Because trauma is real. Trauma is real. You cannot deny that there is trauma around it.
Yeah, correct.
So alhamdulillah for our religion, that it allows, you can still show goodness towards your parents through dua. You dua and you give charity on their behalf. There are ways where you can do it remotely in a sense. If really is traumatic on her to see, because this one is drastic situation.
Yeah, drastic.
Like sexual abuse, gone a really drastic situation. It's not like you argue with your job. It's on the other end already. So you're not cut off in a sense whereby I don't care about him anymore.
Okay.
You need to care about his akhirat. I know he has done a great crime, like it's a crime, right? So he's jailed and everything is a crime, right? But dua lah. I dua that ya Allah, first and foremost dua that I get to cure me of my trauma. Every night dua to cure you of your trauma. Then secondly dua that my father is rectified, because at the end of the day he's a human being. He will have an akhirat, right? All of these things will happen.
No, right? But then because it involves her safety, kan?
Yes.
So when he is out of jail, like, because there's this macam you need to be dutiful to your parents, to like always visit them. Like,
but if he is harmful, like Sayyidina Mus'ab's story, the mother was harmful. The mother was a threat. She was harmful. So if he is really harmful to her, she's not allowed to expose herself to harm. Right. So maybe right now in our zaman, you can remotely send money to your parents. You can.
You don't have to go to the house
and you
to
can
send money.
text and say how are you, everything. If they reply you in an abusive way, you can actually just not read it lah. For me, if somebody is arguing with me, and so I do, people are arguing with me, I don't actually read the arguments. I actually delete the messages to protect myself from any form of just disturbances lah in my head. So if you ever argue with me, I'm not reading your messages. If I'm in a heated argument with somebody, right, and I see like 50 messages from this person, I actually just open the WhatsApp, don't read clear messages. I actually do that. To give myself I want to be I want to be sane. I want to be protected.
Macam for the girl punya story kan. Macam imagine saying how are you to your father who raped you.
Yes.
No,
it's very difficult.
It's very hard.
Very difficult.
So trauma must be recognized lah. So in this situation, I will say for her, dua. So her birrul walidin, her goodness to her father, is her dua that her father is rectified.
Macam
becomes
Sayyidina
a
Mus'ab
better
ibn
Sayyidina
Umair.
Mus'ab story. And that even Nabi Ibrahim's story. Father, you want to stone me? Right now, Ibrahim said, if you don't shut up Ibrahim, I'm gonna stone you, Ibrahim. And that was the story. I'm gonna stone you and you'll be of those who are losers. Okay, Father. I will leave you right now.
No choice lah.
No choice lah, because the father became violent. He's gonna kill him already. So Nabi Ibrahim said, but I will dua for you.
So that is the what we can gather from here. It is the cutting of ties in as much as the physical ties. Like
Because there is a harm.
There's a harm.
There's
So
a harm.
you no longer should be in his presence, but there is no cutting of a spiritual tie because you're still making dua for the father. Like what Nabi Ibrahim did lah.
And if he turns around and becomes a good person and a righteous person, maybe he's in old age, for example, so unable to harm anybody, they're already very old,
And then he come back
in
lah.
a home and everything. Of
Takutnya.
course, it does take a big heart lah.
Yeah.
In a child to say that, to an abusive father who's in the home for the aged, to take them in and look after them. But the reward, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is great. But of course, you won't say to someone that you must do that because they have trauma.
Yeah.
And of course, it's an all, Allah will judge. Allah will know, Allah judges, Allah knows what they can handle, can't handle. But if, I know Mama told me before that, the story of the woman, who her father abandoned her since she was a baby. But with Islam, and she learned more and more Islam, like she learned the rights of the parents. Right? And so she went to search for this father that abandoned her when she was a baby. And she found him in an old folks' home and she brought him home. Right, and look after him. But of course, this is the greatness of someone's heart. And your judgment will be, mashallah.
InshaAllah.
So like the woman who was abused by her father, there is trauma and it is difficult. And of course, Allah knows her situation in her state. You can't say to her directly, you must look after your father. You don't know her state. You don't know her state.
You're not
It's
me.
trauma.
You don't know what I
It's
went
trauma.
through. Yeah, that's why.
Right. So if she wants, she can actually pay for his, treatment or pay for his. If she can't be in his physical presence, for example, trauma is trauma. You cannot dismiss trauma. Trauma is trauma. Right. So she can actually say, you know what, I will still show birrul walidin, but I will transfer money to his account. Right. Get him a flat. He can stay there. But in a sense, maybe she can't. She just can't. But if she can, then that's the goodness of her heart.
That's why Jannah pun ada levels kan.
But
Ada the
yeah.
first level dengan.
So this person who made this post about the cutting ties with the mother,
The trigger post.
about that post. I mean, if you were to advise this person, whoever she is, we would just say that it is wrong of you to cut ties. You claim your mother has been abusive and all that.
But then we can't directly say that lah kan.
No, we can say. We can say that it's wrong to completely cut ties. If you don't want to meet your mother because for fear of your own mental state, you can still make dua for your mother.
Yeah.
You can still set up a bank account to transfer $200 to her every month.
Yes,
And say,
correct.
Mom, this is for you.
Correct.
Oh, that's nice.
I hope you spend it well.
Spend
Right?
it well.
So cutting of ties doesn't mean you cut every single tie like dua and money.
As if they are some stranger that you don't care about.
Because that's the perception I get when people say I'm going to cut ties with my parents. It's like as if completely my parents don't exist anymore.
No.
It's not.
You can try some way.
And also there is also I think something within our hearts that even if you say that even if you say I'm going to cut completely all ties with my parents, one day if you find out your father has passed away, you will surely feel it, right? No matter how you try to cut the ties. I'm sure no matter what.
Yeah.
So do what's good and
probably you feel a lot of regret also. As they grow older and everything. So inshallah that whatever people went through, it's all drastic cases of anger and resentment and everything. As you grow older and your parents grow older, that's where the verse come in to have to lower on them the wings of mercy. You begin to have mercy on them, and then you kind of push yourself because Allah has commanded for goodness. You push yourself that no matter what happened in the past, is the past. They're now aged, they're now old, they are now needy. Right? Make yourself and the reward is great. The greater the struggle, the greater the reward. No one's saying it's gonna be a walk in the park. No.
But how do you tell people that? The greater your struggle, the greater your reward. Because I think it's quite hard for people to accept.
No lah. I think cannot just say. Like,
Yeah.
that's
I
why
know.
we have
So how do you?
podcast.
That's why I ask how. How do you like? You've gone through a lot and your rewards is immense, but they're not gonna. I don't know lah. Some counselors will say that they won't be thinking about such things.
Yeah.
And it's
That's why kan, I mean our counsellor tu, before he counselled someone, he needs to know the person's spiritual state.
yes.
Oh,
Let's
Hairil.
say, Hairil.
Correct.
So he pray. Does he pray selalu,
Yes,
or does he?
correct,
So
correct.
macam it's a journey lah.
That's exactly it lah. You need to know someone's spiritual state and
Spiritual
how connected they are to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala and how much they are focused on the akhirah. All of these things. Because if like for example the post, right? Just I don't know the person who put up the post,
Yeah.
that drawing or that. But from the vibe of the post, right? It does seem like the person's not connected to the akhirah so much. Maybe she is, Allah Alam, but it's not manifest in her writings.
Yeah.
It's not manifest in her writing that she's anything but Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala or the akhirah or
Kira it's just
whatever.
from a dunya lens.
It was a
lah.
very dunya lens.
Not
So
from akhirah perspective.
possibly this person is very difficult to come from the angle of religion to get her to show kindness towards her mother after all that has happened. That's why it does take a big heart lah. That's why the people that I've seen in my life, who they went through difficulty with their parents, but they came around, and they showed goodness towards their parents. Were those who had religious education.
Religious education,
Religious education, had deen. And they kind of pushed themselves on it. They forced themselves on it. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Think of plenty of examples of people who are like that.
Yeah, there's also the other situation where okay, so let's say abusive parents then there's the other situation where the perception that the parents are abusive when they are actually not.
Ya Allah.
So there's like a lot of issues.
Abusive, toxic.
Yes.
Toxic
So you see-
father.
Actually, the post, there was one part that I was questioning in the sense
Ah.
when she said that once she began earning money, her mother took her salary away from her.
Okay.
Right? When I look at the entire post, but of course, whoever, if she's listening in, I don't know anything about you lah, so I cannot judge her like in any way
Okay.
except by the post, by what's in the post. She mentioned from the beginning the mother, single mother, right?
Single mother.
Yeah,
Okay.
single mother, divorced twice, right? Bringing her up single-handedly. Seemed that way from the post, seemed that way. So all this while, the mother's paying the bills, and she seems to be struggling, financially struggling, right? Daughter begins to work. I would think the natural course of things is that the daughter begins to pay.
Yalah.
Right.
Yeah.
So in a sense, the post was made such that the mother wronged her by taking her salary. Whereas I would see it as the mother's been paying all these years. I don't know how old she is. Maybe she's tired. Now you are working. Chip in.
Yeah.
Like all these years, I yang tanggung, I yang pay for you all the bills, everything. So now you're working. So I wouldn't see it as an abuse, but the writer saw it as abuse.
Yeah. So I think this is also part of the problem juga.
Yeah.
Definition
Where
lah.
Yeah,
What is your definition of abuse?
like for me, the way my parents brought us up, like me and all I own belongs to my parents. That's my upbringing. In a sense that whatever my father wants, whatever our parents want,
Just give
we will
Yeah,
give. We will
as
give.
much as
You
you
want
can.
to use my car, use my car. You want to use, like whatever I can give to you, I
Yeah.
will give. Right? You can take whatever you want
so-
from my cupboard.
So,
Kan?
so in a sense, it's very. So when they start talking to people, because I also notice sometimes people when they ask for advice, they tend to paint a very bad picture of, let's say, parents or spouse or even children or whoever.
And label it as abuse.
Yeah, and then they start to use these labels without understanding the meaning of these labels. It's like, my father is toxic.
That's a problem.
He doesn't allow me to do this. He has controlling behavior. He's the narcissist. He's
Yeah.
and then you investigate, you realize that okay lah, this is a wrong perception lah.
Yeah.
How to advise such people lah?
Yeah, where their definition or their view of abuse is not exactly abuse, but there are reasons behind all of these things. Like I know someone, they said, oh, my husband never allows me to go to the mall with my friends. Right? He said Margaret must stay at home and pray Jama'ah and read Ratib.
Good lah.
She saw it as abuse. She
Alhamdulillah
saw
for
it as
that kind
abuse.
of
I was like,
husband.
Alhamdulillah, you have a husband that wants to pray Maghrib and Isha with you and Ratik. Alhamdulillah.
Other husbands
So
don't
how?
even pray sometimes.
So
Yeah
she
lah,
saw it as abuse and controlling that she can't go out with her
Yes, correct.
friends after Maghrib to the mall.
Yes, there are some women
Like a-
also.
like a spot
My
bread,
husband, my husband forced me to put on hijab. So that is
abusive.
abuse. So my husband doesn't give me nafkah for my makeup.
No, but
Abuse.
there are people who would label this as controlling behavior lah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
there are many. You know, there are people. There are many.
There are many.
no, as in, what I'm saying
Control
that there
this.
could be organizations that label this.
Oh,
Yes,
organizations.
yes, yes.
Oh.
Because
and
of like my rights, my rights.
yes, it depends on the kind of counselors you talk to.
Okay.
And
So,
they might say, how dare he control you like that? You know?
and of course,
and then
all of
they-
this all goes back to knowledge. Ilmun nur. And knowledge is light. Wajahal zalam. Ignorance is darknesses. It does go back to knowledge. Like if you understand why your father behaves that way, why your husband behaves that way, and you can have a husnul zan, a good opinion, as to understanding. Okay, my father put all these rules on us. He's not trying to make me miserable. No one's trying to make you miserable. But it's for your protection, lah.
Yeah.
You know, for your safety. He's scared for you. I mean, and most of the time, I think I would say about 100% of the time, there's a situation they are scared for you. Like my husband will never let me tawaf by myself. At
Tawaf.
Makkah. I cannot tawaf by myself because of really a lot of molest cases around the Kaaba. It's true. It happens.
Allah.
You gotta be careful, right? So my husband would always be with me when I thought, and I know it's because protection. He wants me protected.
InsyaAllah.
Yeah. So I would say, oh, he's so controlling. Everything also must be with him. Everything
Clingy,
must be with him. Clingy. No, he's being so people who label I say mislabel things,
Mislabel lah.
like they need to take a step back and analyze the situation from a broader lens.
Actually, I wish more counselors could do this.
Yeah.
Rather than straightway, I mean, part of I think the lack of the issue with what I find this modern day counselling and therapy is they remove the accountability of the person who approaches them for some reason. Like it's like as if you have no accountability and it's like everybody's fault except yours.
Yeah.
And then it reinforces the
It's like a child that comes and cries to you,
Tak ada akhirat.
abang beat me. What did you do?
you know?
Why abang beat you? What did you do? Abang beat you randomly.
So I think this is something that definitely we need to
Because when I saw the post also, and she said her mother threw the phone at her or her mother chased her out. My question is, what did you do?
Yalah.
You must have triggered something about your mother, but you didn't mention it. There was no mention of why. My mom threw me out. Okay, what happened? I'm not saying what her behavior is okay, but let's backtrack and see, because I know of parents who will throw out their children. Like for example, if they catch a child smoking,
Yeah.
or they catch a child, like doing things that are really haram in the house, or really bad in the house, or really very rude, that they get so angry, say, get out of my house. They
Yalah, yalah.
There are parents who will do that. And then, of course, they'll regret. And they call you back. You come back, everything. But this is the thing, like you say, oh, abuse. You gotta see the
But this
whole-
child will start to meet his friends or whoever, and they reinforce his decisions and all that.
They must broaden the lens. What is happening here? So if someone were to come up, to go to the questionnaire, someone would come up to us and say, oh, I'm being abused or what?
Yeah.
Okay, broaden your lens. All right, what exactly happened? Why is your father saying this? Why is your mother saying this? Why did she do this to you? What happened behind? Let's backtrack. Right? What could have been done better? And then you're troubleshooting lah, finding solution. In that, inshallah.
So inshallah you all have benefited from this episode in terms of dealing with our parents. There's a variety of ways ranging from disagreements, how to handle situations where you feel that you might need to disobey, but or not disobey lah, need to go against their wishes and so on, and how to handle them in the best way possible. And for some of us who we feel that we're not even able to be in the presence of our parents without feeling some difficulty and so on, know that it is wrong to completely cut off ties, because even though we might not be in the presence of our parents physically, we can still maintain ties through dua, through even financially supporting them remotely. In that sense, if it goes to that extent, but inshallah with continued dua, we can soften their hearts through some miracles and mend our relationships. Because we have to know that in Islam, birrul walidain being good to our parents, birrul walidain kan. Is one of the highest things that we can do. And it's even higher than jihad.
Yeah, it's
It's
higher
even
than
higher
jihad.
jihad. Yeah.
It's higher than jihad.
Yeah, and inshallah. So they are our tests. Sometimes they are challenges. And as always, it is how we respond to them that will make us better Muslims. Okay, and that's all. We'll speak to you all next time, inshallah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.